What up, Solar fam? It's your host, Ian, on another episode of Inner Solar, sitting down with Richard, John, and the community this week just to have some community involvement. Like I said, it's crunch time right now, so we want to be as available, as involved with the community as possible. So here we are, just letting you guys know you can jump in, jump out at any time. That's totally fine, but got some updates for you, got some exciting news as well. So to kick us off, I'll hand the reins off to Richard. I know beta test is coming up soon. We got a sneak peek of the site. I'm so excited for seeing it. But what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, definitely. So first off, we did release the MVP last week. The feedback we got was primarily positive. The only thing we will be adjusting based on the MVP is the wallet connect, the wallet connect button. For some reason, it's green, so we're of course going to change that to a different color. Overall, I hope everyone got to see. We're going to have the trade function, the swap function, and then the liquidity function, where of course you'll go in as a crypto project and lock your liquidity. Similar to other Solana dexes, we figured we might as well just throw in that trade function where you can set limit orders on trades. But the bread and butter of the exchange will be the swap function. And I hope everyone noticed, we basically want it where it's a one-stop shop in Solana and for a DeFi exchange as well, where you go to the swap function, you can already see the coin's information. That's the coin's market cap. That's the volume. You're going to be able to see if the length of how long the liquidity is locked. So kind of view it as Pancake Swap had a baby with Dex tools as the way we're going to be marketing this. Basically, we just want you to use our site, and that should be the only tool you use. Like, there's no need to like have 4 different browsers up, doing constant research. All the readily available information should just be there before you make that swap. So that's the MVP. We're looking at full-blown beta tests here in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, ideally, we kind of actually want to set up something kind of fun where we'll maybe give like 5 people their own testnet project to run. Like, here's your fake token on testnet. Go ahead and try to lock liquidity. Go ahead and try to remove liquidity. Report back with your findings, and then see if they can convince people to trade their test tokens. That way we can get a better sense of like, all right, geographically speaking, and the bandwidth of the site is able to handle all these vast amounts of people coming in. So that's where our heads at with the beta test. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and it should be fun. Depending on how it goes in 2 weeks, it'll be a full Dex launch. So looking forward to it.
Sweet. So beta test 2 weeks. How long are we running that beta test for?
At minimum 2 weeks. I want 2 weeks of thorough testing, because not only will we have the community testing, I will continuously be testing it. You guys will be testing it. Our devs will be testing it. It's pretty much nothing but beta testing for everybody for 2 weeks straight. For sure, there's probably gonna be a couple of hiccups. Hopefully not, but I'm assuming there will be. As we're finding these things, they get reported back to the devs. Hey, fix these while we keep testing. And then we just keep going back and forth, and then do a week of like, all right, let's make sure nothing goes wrong at all. And then once that week happens, all right, let's get the audit done, make sure everyone's good on our end. Let's fully launch.
Boom. So about 1 month from now is where we can expect the full product. But no, dude. Yeah, the biggest thing with the beta test is that, yeah, like you said, we want to make it fun. We want to make it as enjoyable as possible, but we also want to find all the bugs up front. I know we keep pushing back that date for the full product launch, but that's because we're constantly evolving with.
Wait, no, I'm going to stop you there. We did Q2 for full beta launch, so we are on track, my good sir.
My mistake.
Carry on.
I don't know. It's just wishful thinking on my part, I guess, because I'm too excited for this. I mean, I've been looking forward to this ever since the inception of this project. So maybe it's just wishful thinking on my head. But no, that's awesome, because I know on top of this, we got Secret Serpent Society launching this week too. So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess let me give everyone some context of what I've been dealing with for the past week. So as we all know, Magic Eden hosted a huge rug pull on there. The guy's like, yo, this isn't my first time rugging on Magic Eden, and I'm gonna keep doing it again. So that kind of scared Magic Eating. So they're like, yeah, we're not gonna launch any projects in the near term future without, like taking the necessary steps to approve projects, which of course, requires time. So I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do for this? So I did some more research, came across Monkey Labs. They hosted a rugger. They actually hosted two. I called them out on it. Said, hey, what's up about your community? I just need anyone who minted wallet's address. And they're like, well, I'll get back to us once it's confirmed rug. I was like, all right, no problem. So a couple of community members like, hey, it's confirmed. So I sent a message to Monkey Lab saying, hey, it is in fact confirmed. Can I get that list? They were kind enough to not respond, and they were also kind enough to delete my NFT application. So this, left me like, oh crap, what am I going to do? So our partners, Fan Token, they have their own NFT platform. So we actually contracted this out to them, and they will be spinning up a full-blown minting contract on our own dedicated platform. So it's kind of cool that we get to do this on our own. What this also enables us to do in the future is now host NFT launches. So it's going to be big. It's another unexpected use case for the exchange. I think it'll drive more people. But the good news with SSS is the whitelist is fully closed. If everyone mints the amount they were supposed to mint per the Google form, it'll sell out, which is good, which means from there we can get listed on another centralized exchange. Due to the repeat of last time with L Bank, I won't announce which exchange it is. It's not Gates, but we have been in talks with another exchange for the past month. And basically, when the time comes, we're going to let them announce it because we don't want any, butterfingers out there just dumping when the news comes. We're just like, oh crap. That way it, builds up hype. We already have a base price set in stone. So anyone buying will be new holders. So we don't want to repeat a L Bank where a bunch of people sold off after that hype. We want that hype to come exactly at the right time.
Yeah, I'll chalk up L Bank to a big learning experience for us.
Yes.
I mean, it was a good thing at the time, but just as everyone's aware, the volatility within that really drives that price up or down. So we're trying to vet a centralized exchange to the fullest extent where we know that, like Richard said, there's going to be a base price. It's not going to fluctuate, and we're going to have that stability within it. The volatility with it just kind of kills it all and kills the hype too. So check one for learning experience and check two for not doing that again.
Yeah, so this will help because we'll also have, unfortunately, we'll also have L Bank. So it'll be like kind of like everyone competing against each other, which would make it less volatile price. Because we had that one member accidentally put in a sell order for like a penny and it went through. So it like tanked the price for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember all of us hopping on a call going, hey, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, like where did this come from?
Yeah, that was wild. That was a stressful day for all the wrong reasons. But no, like I said, learning experience. We're doing our due diligence. The centralized exchange, like Richard said, we're gonna let them announce it just because we want the hype to be with them and to have their users coming onto the Solar token rather than vice versa. So we want to drive the engaging community to not just our community, but start picking from other communities too to really back this project up and get that exposure at the same time. But that's where we are with SSS, with the beta launch. Any other things to mention before I hand the reins over to John to see what's going on in his side? Richard.
Oh man. Go ahead, John.
All set, guys? All right. Yeah, so as far there, I'm glad we got that out of the way. So as far as Solarverse goes, I've been talking to the team recently, and we have came up with the white paper, like I was talking about last week. The white paper should be available by the end of this week. You've been talking to the team too, right, Richard? That's what we've agreed upon thus far.
That is correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. There's been so many calls going on, man. And then other than that, I've been set the site. I've seen firsthand what the site's going to look like. I'm pretty pumped about that, but it is by no means at a stage of development where we're going to release that quite yet. It is coming soon. I refuse to pin down an exact date because, as things are in crypto, it's subject to change, probably a lot of change, unfortunately. But we are, I don't know. I just wish things moved faster, man. You know what I mean?
It's dramatic
going
pause,
good,
though.
Yeah, I know. So I was just thinking back about how you and I both told ourselves that the Dex was going to come sooner. I like originally I had this idea baked in my mind that the Dex was going to come in like February. The early on optimism. I was just reminiscing on how far back things get pushed, unfortunately. But yeah, so we do have a site coming soon. It's going to be available soon. Refuse to pin down a date, but it's looking good. It's looking slick, but it's very, very early stage. Half-baked idea so far, but it's looking good. I like seeing more and more people join that Solarverse chat. I'm liking the conversations going on over there. And I'm really, really looking forward to turn a lot of these funds into another thing to do for Solar Dex, get us on some other centralized exchanges because L Bank is a different beast.
To say the least. Because an important point that we want to make too is like we're doing these NFT projects and we're like expanding the umbrella for Solar Dex, like continuous improvement, bringing everything in-house. That's really the vision of what we have for the organization as a whole. So that's why we're starting to do other projects while the devs are really putting their head down in the dirt and really getting on the nitty gritty to get this thing launched. Just because once this thing launches, then the world's really our oyster. We just have to open up and make sure that we can do all the things that we want to do. Because I'm going to be transparent when we say we have ambitious goals. Like the sky's the limit for Solar Dex. The exchange is going to be awesome. We can expand out there, have launch pads for both tokens and NFTs. But right now, we want to build funds so we can get that exposure. So when it does launch, it's going to put all of us in the best position for the early adopters of Solana and Solar Dex as a whole too. So great things coming. I know Solarverse is going to be a big project with our partners. Beta test is coming. We got Serpent Society to really introduce our NFT game. But the last announcement is really a big announcement on my end too. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of what I'm working on in the background too. Like I said, we're trying to get into the NFT game as well. NFTs are taking off for whatever reason. I like them too. So we're trying to get our toes wet in there as well. So I'm working on a partnership to get really the solar NFTs off the ground. And I'm heading that little project myself where we can start building projects, building a portfolio, putting everything under the Solar Dex umbrella and really having this thing be a real crypto pretty much juggernaut. So that's all I can say now. It's in the very beginning stages, but we're working on our platform, working on a Discord, Telegram, trying to funnel everything to Discord so we can have those conversations as well. But we're getting conceptual ideas down. We're having a portfolio of this introduction into NFTs. We're finalizing designs down for that. And once those are starting to take more shape and form with the artistry, that's when I can give you more of a sneak peek into it, just because I don't want to give anything away because like John and Richard said, things are subject to change. So it's early stages. I'll tell you more when I have more information for you. But other than that, I mean, that pretty much covers all of this. Richard, John, what do you guys got?
I just want to reiterate Ian and John's points. Like I said, with Secret Serpent Society and what I've been, telling you guys is, this is primarily for a centralized exchange. You guys are basically getting to mint for free because you're making $50 per mint because you're receiving solar tokens. So the expectations with that, like that is its use case, that is its utility. As we grow, there will be a chat where we all interview oncoming projects. You guys get early access to IDOs. Like, hey, these are like the OGs of solar. Like if you want to IDO, you have to guarantee them whitelist spots for your private sale or something along that nature. So that's it's primarily biggest function and utility. What John is doing with Solarverse is, an Ethereum project who's been listening in on his AMAs, like we really like this guy. This guy's really transparent. His docs out on the top in their community. Oh wow, their community is really uplifting. We love this. Let's have him, run our idea and projects. So of course I interviewed them, John interviewed them, we got together. I was like, if you want to do this, we support you 110%. So what we negotiated is, the team gets X percentage back on NFTs sold for Solarverse, which of course will go towards, marketing, more centralized exchanges and so forth. The reason why it's taking so long is, the other team's a perfectionist. If they get a drawing back, we look at it, we go, we don't really like it. They're like, okay, we'll tweak it. So it's just been going back and forth, back and forth. We need this to be perfect. And then what Ian's trying to do, Ian will basically be heading up the NFT division at Solar Dex. Now that, we bought these smart contracts and we're going to have them reviewed by our own internal devs, he will be, the NFT portion of the exchange. He will be interviewing oncoming NFT projects, giving them the go ahead. So he will be fully in charge of like marketing for NFTs and stuff of that nature. And with that being said, one of the largest Solana NFT projects reached out to us. So we will be doing this in conjunction with one another. I think one of the things is like people fail to realize is, our community, we say this all the time, but the community is truly awesome. Other projects notice that. And that's what makes this project so valuable. You get in the other channels, it's negativity. Hey, what's going on? What's going on with this? Why haven't you done this? Where's the admin? Whereas, we're always here. We are investors of solar as well. We want this to do as well as humanly possible. That's why we're just, giving it our all. We want this to succeed, probably more than you guys, to be honest. So that's where we're at. So to sum it up, we got the SSS, you get free solar tokens. That happens this week. Solarverse white paper, it is done. Take a look at it. It'd be nice if Darren reviewed it. That'd be awesome, Darren.
Yeah. Annotated, highlighted, yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is the thing is honestly like one of the nicest white papers I've ever seen. I was like, wow, this thing is beautiful. I didn't read it, but it looked pretty.
I just ran my hand over it and said yes.
Well, I was like, wow, this is visually appealing. All right.
That's what investors think too,
long.
Most people don't know how to read, Pretty good.
I know how to read, I just don't know how to retain.
Yeah. Still learning. What's on after the exchange launches, I'll learn how to read.
Yeah, it's like these weird markings. I wonder what they mean.
It's hieroglyphics.
I wish they had pictures. But no.
Yeah. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, and like my vision for the NFT division, you guys just kind of give you an idea of where my head's at, is that this initial project's really going to be the introduction to it. So once you have an NFT from this initial project, you're going to have like first dibs, like Richard said, at other white papers or white lists that we release and partner with. Don't laugh at me, dude. But
hey, you guys won to clean my house this week.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
It's hard.
Yeah,
Keep going.
Get another Guinness. Yeah, but like just exclusive sneak peeks, first dibs. You'll get access to the whole umbrella of the NFT collections that will release on Solar Dex too. So This is we saw where NFTs were going. We want to get in on that too. And we want, once again, just like the Dex, a good experience for the users, good experience for the community. Just because, like Richard said, I believe that projects are only as good as their community is because it attracts better communities too. So having all the positivity in the chats, like Richard said, people take notice. So I want to give kudos. I know I always give kudos, but I really want to give kudos to you guys just for being such a great community. That's why we want to be transparent. We want you to know where our vision's going and to know what the future of Solar Dex really means for you guys as investors too. So kudos, thumbs up. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
John?
so hyped about all this NFT stuff that we've got going on. I never saw it coming at the beginning of this project, but
Yeah,
I'm blown away.
yeah,
It's really
100%.
awesome, all these franch drops.
Yeah, because I'm like, Dex is awesome, man. Like, yes, we get to make the best Dex out there on Solana network, and then all of a sudden,
Oh,
like,
dude.
yeah, people are like NFT this, NFT that, and we're like, what are NFTs? And then all of a sudden, bam, they're blowing up. We're like, yes, we really like them. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's to the point where you got to stay relevant in the DeFi space. So
Yeah.
primary focus is definitely exchange, but these are add-ons to the exchange. Radium has it. We might as well have it. We're better than them, so we might as well prove it. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, and we're always looking at like new concepts too, like just like the Dex on the Solana network, just like the NFTs that we're doing. We want to be the early adopters of it too. So we're always vetting new like projects that are coming out, seeing if they're going to blow up, and that we're like, hey, we should get in on that too. So Solar Dex is the umbrella that's going to cover a lot of things. But first stop, let's get that Dex out. Second stop, NFTs. The goal for the NFT projects is to be launched in conjunction with the Dex or right around that timeline too, so that you guys that have the Dex, have solar coins, can get in on the NFTs as soon as possible as well. So that's where my head's at.
I think one of the biggest things for us is you have millions of projects out there who apply to these other launch pads and they're normally ghosted. We will be one of the few that will give, projects the benefit of the doubt. So even if we're like, oh my God, this is a scam for sure, prove us wrong. And if they do, like, hey, here we go, here's our information. Keep it safe, or this is our longevity plan. What do you think? We're willing to work with other projects, whereas most of them are like, delete. We will actually take the time and be like, all right, I like where your mind's headed. What about this, and this? Let's think after the pre-sale and stuff like that. We want to, bring on as much traction as humanly possible, but in a safe manner. And if you can accommodate those safety protocols, you're welcome onto our exchange.
Yeah, that's huge because our whole philosophy is we want to make this a safe space. Like we've already had some rug pulls on some large launchpad sites for NFTs where they should have vetted that out. And so we put a huge emphasis on the vetting process, on our safety protocols, just to make sure that people actually can follow, I don't want to say rules, but they can follow the guidelines, and then it protects their community and it makes them a legit project. So because of those two things, why wouldn't we launch any project on there as long as they have the best intentions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a question, and it's about marketing. So as far as the marketing when the beta test is out, so as far as marketing, we've always been trying to market it where, market where it matters. Not pay these random botted Twitter shillers like, hey, here's $300, do a retweet. That's not very effective. You maybe get like 5 to 10 actual people who are interested in your project. So we plan on doing serious marketing, marketing as far as like when you do get on a centralized exchange, you can pay extra for them to advertise for you. Like they legit have real users. So when they're like, pay X amounts, we'll market for you in China. Okay, here you go. So best believe we're going to be doing that here with SSS, step one. Step two, hold on.
Kids
Kids these days, tell you what.
So step two, one of the biggest things is, you got like all these giant crypto related news articles where the heavy hitters, the whales, they're the ones who read these. We've already been in touch with Cointelegraph. We basically told them like, hey, we want an actual like, beta Dex out where people can test this thing out before we market this thing. We don't want to jump the gun. We're like, people read this article and they're like, holy crap, this is cool. And then they get on it and they're like, well, I can't even do anything. And they're like, all right, disregard. And they move on with their life.
Mhm.
And what I feel like, as far as like a marketing tactic goes, is, hold on.
Dude, you build it up and then just put it down. And then you have to build it up again and it's just hanging up here.
Sorry.
You hear that?
Yeah, so as far as the marketing goes, the biggest thing right now is, Solana doesn't have any liquidity lockers like Unicrypt does, or like, crap, I forgot the BSC one, but Solana has 0 liquidity lockers. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be incentivizing the community, like, hey, bring this project on. And even if you don't bring them on, ask them to lock their liquidity. And literally, if you bring that up in any channel, people are like, oh shit, well, liquidity is not locked. I didn't realize that. And by advertising that, like, hey, we're Solar. Our liquidity is locked on Solar Dex. Where is your liquidity locked? And we don't have a liquidity locked. Oh, why not? Don't you care about your investors? So that's one of the biggest things as far as a marketing push goes, is kind of confronting all these Solana-based projects. Like, hey, guess what? You now have a solution to this. And it's just more especially appealing as you have these Ethereum projects or Binance projects who are used to locking liquidity migrate over. They're like, okay, you know what? Now we can lock our liquidity, stuff of that nature. So it's a unique exchange idea, but it's also something necessary in Solana that, there's no liquidity lockers. Any project, you just need to call that project out. And that's what we plan on doing. Like, hey, whoever onboards a project will give you like 10,000 Solar, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think a huge marketing tactic is literally just one question. It's like, hey, can you lock your liquidity? The answer is no. Then everyone starts asking other questions, and it's pretty much word of mouth at that point. So it's like a one question marketing plan, but that's not it. Because other marketing stuff that we've been throwing around too is on the safety side of things, just making like little spoof videos of like, hey, don't click this if it pops up. Like if someone named Ian from Solar Dex messages you asking you, hey, like I'm stuck in jail, can you give me 3.5 thousand Bitcoin? Like that's not us. So it's just like, it's a common sense things that we just got to make fun of, because there's people that like message us going, hey, this is John. Like I had this the other day. John messaged me saying, hey, do you got a quick minute? I was like, your picture looks weird. He's like, yeah, but like I'm like stuck in a bind. Can you like send me some Solana? And I'm like, no, dude, you're not John. And then he deleted his Telegram right away. So it's just making fun of those type of things, but people are getting more intricate with their scams too to get money. So it's just one of those things where like we have to make fun of it, but we also have to make people aware. So that's another marketing scheme that we're going to be releasing here too.
Wait a minute, I wouldn't call that a marketing scheme. I was just telling you to do that as like the intro to when the Dex launches. One of those spoof safety videos. Like, hi, I'm Ian. Welcome to Solar Dex.
Well, I was thinking
we're not going to be marketing that crap.
Yeah, dude, it's Solar Dex, man. This is why you don't click on it, because of Solar Dex. Like we got you covered. So maybe it's not like a marketing thing, but it's like gonna get our name out there. And I was thinking about making like a trilogy, like part 1, part 2, part
Please
3.
don't allocate any marketing funds to that.
I just need a webcam, a mic, and we're good. So we're good already.
Oh God.
But another thing as far as marketing goes, like even just now, I checked my notifications. Another news outlet is pitting us against an Avalanche project on who's got the better community. So we've been getting a lot of traction from like a lot of news sources and stuff like that. Like, I don't think people realize there are like a bunch of eyes on this project. Another thing is we do still have that huge partner lined up, and I'm confirming with them that news might actually go out this week. But then we also have another huge partner coming up who said, yeah, we'll promote you once the exchange is up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they who shall not be named. I'm very tired.
me too.
I guess that makes 3 of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because we have a lot of milestones to hit with a lot of partners lined up per milestone. So the free publicity is awesome too. It's driving a lot of attention, and once again, it's like a lot of eyes on the community too. So like having all the positivity, having all the good comments in the chat, like that's not us doing it, that's you guys doing it. So we appreciate you. Like
Yeah,
that's
like that
driving a
one
lot of
guy's
attention.
wallet that got hacked. Several community members got together and helped him out. So that's one of the things that's very rare in the crypto space is, you know, a positive community. Like I said, people are taking notice of that and they do want to work with us. I mean, even 30 minutes before this call, I got another message from another large Solana community asking if we could work together.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's not typically it's us versus them, but now it's like, hey, why don't we work together and actually just build something special? So it's no longer just butting heads with people. Like we're trying to build those bridges where it's like, hey, we can both benefit from this because we both have great projects. Like, why don't we just do that? And so having like 2 large communities come together and making a powerhouse, like that's going to be huge. And that's ultimately like what we're trying to do with Solar Dex too. It's a
Because it's
collaborative
bringing in their
approach.
community with our community as well. So
Mm-hmm.
But once again, we're vetting communities too, so it's not a bunch of negative Nancy's coming into Solar Dex, starting to be negative and everything. So
yeah, because I
positive
kicked
vibes.
out, I didn't kick them out. I said no to 5 projects the past 3 days.
Yeah, it's a lot on the community. We have a vision and mission of Solar Dex, and we're just looking for projects that have that same mentality with us. So all of our goals are aligned, and then we can really make that big push to making something great. Because I think we have the platform to do it. I think we have the community to do it. If you add those 2 together, it equals something special. So I'm really hyped for everything that's coming up in the future, all the partnerships we have lined up. The community keeps growing. The community keeps getting more involved with other communities to build this too. So all this attention and just really the drive behind this, it's all been positive things. So great things are coming up in the future, man.
Yes. Anyone else got any other questions?
Yeah, let's open it up to the community. I bet my man Farden has something to say.
Oh yeah.
Pardon, throw it in the chat.
Or talk.
I guess you can talk too.
I'll allow it.
Hi again. Thanks for this live and answer the questions. Richard and Clarence said very important things. All description were complete. I just want to say thank you for trust and support of the solar fam. I was very surprised by the number of stake tokens. I can only say that we will have very good week ahead. The solar farm will have a good week. Everything happens very soon. It should be noted in the bear market. A project will grow that is supported. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's community members like you that, you know, like most project leaderships are like, God, this is stressful. These people hate me. Thankfully, we can log in each day, and you guys feel like family, to be honest with you. Like, hey, I know I get to talk to Farden tonight. This is fun. Our 2 mods, they have the same mindsets as well. I know Kenny deals with it more on the night shift, but like someone will come in blasting him and stuff, and he will, you know, respond in a polite manner, be respectful, help them out. And as I'm scrolling through like what I missed during the night, literally like the last remaining ones are like, hey man, I apologize. I shouldn't have acted that way. Thank you for being so professional.
Yeah,
And I'm
shout
like,
out to the mods.
yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Hey man, you said it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, Farden, you and people like you are literally the reason that we're as successful as we are. So appreciate
Facts. So I mean, the bear market unfortunately started the same exact moment we launched.
it. Like to a T. Oh my gosh. That was
Yeah.
unbearable.
That timing something else, am I right?
Yeah, but you know, most projects are like 50% down or more versus us. In the past 3 months, we're up like 108%. I don't want to jinx it, but of course, as Farden said, look at the staking. Most of the holders are there locking their tokens. They're here for the long run. That's one of the reasons why I felt comfortable with SSS. Like it's kind of like a private sale mid project, but you're also getting an NFT. You know, trust goes both ways. I trust you guys. You guys aren't going to just dump. You guys have been holding this long. You guys have been nothing but supportive. So the trust needs to also go back to you guys as well. Like here we are.
Yeah. And like when we say solar fam, like Richard said, you guys feel like family. You guys are the day ones. Like shout out to Alexander, Barden, Adam, Jesse, Chris, everyone that's here, just because you guys have been here since day one, really supporting the project. So this is kind of turning into like a thank you podcast, but like I want to say thank you. Like without you guys, none of this is possible. And like I said, there's something special building right now, and this is just the start of it. So once that Dex launch, man, like we got NFTs, we got like pictures of John on the internet. Like let's make something happen like that. John, get your own NFT project like that.
Hell yeah, dude. I am Solarverse. I lied about everything. It's gonna be
White paper is just a giant picture of your face.
just me through the years, starting at like age 4.
Yeah, the whole backstory behind
Yeah, the
Solar versus
roadmap.
John.
Roadmap. I was born.
All right, that's gonna be part of the portfolio now. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like we have any other questions, but any parting thoughts for you, Richard or John?
I know on my end, I don't make this public, but I am mentoring other people who are wanting to start their own project. So there is people in the chat who will eventually start their own project, and they're kind of, you know, getting advice from me and learning the way like how we do things. So one of the conditions is, of course, I'll mentor you, I'll guide you, I will assist you. I know who you are. I know you're gonna be safe. I know I can trust you to bring you onto the solar platform. The only thing I ask in return is when the time comes, I want you to let my community stake solar for your token. So I know I mentioned that in the Medium article, like one of the future use cases when staking runs out is you'll be able to stake solar for other tokens. This is in fact true, and this will in fact happen. So be on the lookout for that when I probably after the Dex launches, start saying, all right, now let's onboard your project fully.
I like how you preface it with, I don't make this public, and you literally just said it in a public setting.
Well, I'm like letting them know, like, hey, you know, staking, once it does run out, we do have plans in motion. We like to be 2-3 steps ahead. And we did get another question. Bug bounty.
I'll read it out loud just so everyone that's watching this knows what's happening.
Yeah, I
here.
can't read, so if you could help.
I'm just touching the screen. Hopefully it just comes to me. But it says, you guys planning on doing a bug bounty like pancake swap, where it's focused around your smart contracts, website, and app with a primary interest in the prevention of loss of user funds, either by direct draining of locked funds or social engineering attacks by redirecting users or forcing them to sign a transaction. And all bug reports must include a proof of concept demonstrating how the vulnerability can be exploited and people would be rewarded.
Long answer short, yes, we do plan on doing that. After the contracts are audited, of course, from there we will release a bug bounty program.
Yeah, safety is top of mind, so that's definitely on the horizon. We're taking a lot of the bugs, the kind of, I don't want to say scams on the decks, but like anything that's really can make this really penetrable. We're trying to close those off as soon as possible and do those constant audits of information to make sure that all users of Solar Dex are protected in that sense too.
Yeah, and like Ian said, like we won't do a bug bounty program during the beta because there will be issues. And as the dev team is troubleshooting, it'll get corrected. Plus, then we will then have an audit, which theoretically should find most of any security issues, get them patched up once fully launched. Hey, here's our bug bounty program.
Yeah, it's exciting. That's a great question. So I'm glad you brought that to light too.
Yeah,
Stealing all of our thunder. Come on.
but
Busy.
it sounds stupid, but it's kind of necessary. But when the Dex launches, we will have some sort of safety video like, hey, we're never going to email you. This is a decentralized exchange. There's no, use your credentials to get on. Don't click anything. Any announcements we do will be through our social platforms. Make sure this is the correct site you're going to and stuff of that nature. Like, kind of just, be aware of these things. Be careful.
Yeah, like I kind of said before Richard nicked it in the butt, but yeah, we're gonna do like a spoof safety video just so that we can once again poke fun at it, but at the same time just make sure you guys are aware of all the safety precautions that you should be taking just to make everything safer for you. My vision is kind of like the Jurassic Park video going through the timeline, but it's gonna be a lot funnier.
I was thinking like a construction video. Like you have a hard hat on, turn around. Hi, I'm Ian with Solar Dex. You start walking them through it.
At the end, it's all of us just standing there with a thumbs up.
Yeah. Welcome to Solar Dex. That's what I was thinking, like those old 80s orientation videos.
As long as when I'm talking, you two are in the background just carrying 2x4s for no reason.
No, I'm not even gonna say it on here because it'll be recorded and come back to us.
Yeah, save that for private conversations and then we
I'll
can
put it in the chat.
We're just gonna have that build up silence right now.
I posted it.
Oh no. Have like
Great
that
answer.
like that lyric song going at the same time, just us hearing it.
Yeah.
Yes, the new meme is out there. We'll make that into an NFT too.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Perfect.
It's gonna be a fun year.
It's gonna be an awesome year. I mean,
Yawn.
Q1's already been crazy. Q2 is gonna start off with a bang. Lord only knows what Q3 and Q4 holds. So
The end goal is to have our own app on the App Store. That way you download it, you don't need to worry about like phishing things or anything of that nature.
yeah, being on the App Store for both iOS and Android, huge. So that's the end goal, but I know we're kind of coming up on time now. So I always like to say parting thoughts, Richard. Parting thoughts, John.
I think you guys are awesome. And I think that the NFTs are going to help out a lot with the centralized exchanges.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Normally I look creepy during these videos, but you've been creeping me out. This whole thing. You look super high strung right now.
Oh, dude, it's the entire opposite. I mean, so the lighting's weird because normally the room I'm in, I've got some family around tonight, and I kind of forgot that this was happening until 15 minutes before. So I got kicked out to another room, and my camera's lower than it would be normally. It is creepy.
So your laptop is sitting on the sink and you're on the toilet, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, you're taking a dump right now.
Yeah, I live in a small house. That's why I'm so close to the camera. No room for activities.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, that's John's parting thought. Don't forget to flush. But Richard,
I'm good as long as the other people on this call are good. I think we're good.
sounds good. Well, hey, we appreciate the community. You guys are awesome. We appreciate the support. Keep those positive vibes going. We appreciate everyone that joined us tonight to kind of listen to that. But one thing I want to say too about the podcast, I know listen to us and watching us talk to each other is a lot of fun, but I kind of want to spice it up. So we're thinking about doing like certain things during the podcast, whether it's a hot wings challenge, a power hour, or anything like that. So if you guys got suggestions of what you want to see just to make everything fun, let me know. We can get to planning, make sure that we're just keeping the engagement on that end too. I'm always down for a good time, so I want to make it a good time for you guys too. But no, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the Solar fam. We appreciate everyone here right now. So we had our parting thoughts. Feel free to drop suggestions for our future podcasts in the comments below. But like, subscribe, share this video. We got a lot of good information in here. So until next time, we're taking off the rocket ship and we'll see you later, Solar fam.
Have a good one.